What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Clawed Out Games. Today, I will be going over another deck tech for my favorite color pairing, which is Naya, and one of my favorite commanders that I have, and that is Samut, Voice of Dissent. So what's this deck all about? It's all about playing massive creatures, tapping massive creatures to either get out other massive creatures or just for other miscellaneous value. So it is a bit of a tapping deck, just because Samut here gives all other creatures haste. And it's just a different kind of Naya deck, in my opinion. It's got a lot of weird interactions that you're able to do with tapping things, and even herself. I mean, she's a 3/4 double strike vigilance haste, and she's got flash, which a lot of opponents forget. It's just it's a fun different commander. And the reason this deck came to was I was just putting all of my bigger, stompy creatures and trying to figure out what deck to put that in. And I actually saw Joe Johnson play a version of her on I Hate Your Deck a few years ago, and it just really intrigued me. It was a fun deck, and with like I said, different interactions and different just ways to play a big stompy deck. So today we have our piles here, and we are going to go through them as so. I always like to start off with the more boring categories. So we'll start off with the ramp today. We have Soul Ring. We have Karametra's Alkalite. This is a 1/4 for 4, and you can tap her to add an amount of green equal to your devotion to green. A lot of these mana dorks that tap for massive amount of mana are perfect for this deck because they come down with haste and they can almost replace themselves. She can net more mana depending on her devotion to green. We have Selvala, Explored Return. You tap to parlay, which all my play group loves. People love to see this hit the battlefield. Each player reveals the top card of your library. For each non-land card, reveal this way, add a green, and you gain 1 life. Then each player draws a card. Theoretically, this creature can also net you mana, because every player does reveal a card, so technically you could add 4 green. Another Selvala, Eager Trailblazer. This is the newest one that came out last year with Outlaws. It's whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1, and then you can tap, choose a color, add 1 mana of that color for each different power among creatures you control. She can also tap for massive. And then our last Selvala. This is a Selvala tribal deck, if you guys couldn't figure that out. This one's the best one. She's a beast. Heart of the Wilds. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, its controller may draw a card if its power is greater than each other creature's power, which is usually going to be us. When you play her in this deck, you don't plan to have other people drawing off her. That next ability is what we really run her for, though. You pay green, tap her, add X mana, and any combination of colors where X is the greatest power among creatures. Massive amounts of mana. Avacyn's Pilgrim, 1-drop mana dork. Delighted Halfling, 1-drop mana dork. Bop, 1-drop mana dork. We have Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. Tap it to add 2 mana in any combination of colors. Spend this to only cast creatures or activate abilities of a creature card. And then when you cast a creature with power 5 or greater, put a count on her and untap her. Super sweet card. And then we have Shaman of the Forgotten Ways. You can add 2 mana to cast creatures, but that second ability is really what we run her for. Formidable. You pay 11, tap her. Each player's life total becomes the number of creatures he or she controls. Activate this ability only if creatures you control have total power. So early game, he is creature mana ramp. Late game, it's a legit win con because 11 mana isn't a whole lot in this deck. Then we have our interaction pieces here. We'll start off with Legolas's Quick Reflexes. If you haven't played this card, it's a pretty sweet card. It's got split second, so no one can interact with it. And then you untap target creature, which is very relevant in this deck. Until end of your turn, it gains hexproof reach, and whenever this creature becomes tapped, it deals damage equal to its power to up to one target creature. This card is very versatile. It can be both protection, it can untap a massive mana dork, or it could untap a huge creature before combat and use it as removal. It's a pretty fun card. We have Intrepid Hero, which is tap, destroy target creature with power 4 greater. Again, removal on these tap things that are constant is pretty cool for this deck. Lorna the Third Path. This is ETBs, destroy up to one target creature, target artifact or enchantment, and then it could also build card draw. You and target opponent each draw a card. You want to pick the player that is the most behind, because we don't love giving our opponents card draw. And we have Manglehorn. Whenever it's ETBs, you destroy a target artifact, and artifacts your opponent's control enter tapped. Super good card. We have Druid of Purification. When this creature enters, starting with you, each player may choose an artifact or enchantment you don't control. Destroy each permanent chosen this way. That could be a 3-for-1. Really, it's really good. We have Stomp. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Pretty good MDFC that I like to put in my Gruul color decks. And then we have Bane of Progress. ETBs, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Put a counter on Bane of Progress for each permanent destroyed this way. It's a board clear for artifacts and enchantments. Pretty good. We have another board clear here. We have Sunblast Angel. When it ETBs, destroy all tapped creatures. By the way, I forgot to say this in the beginning of the video, but the majority of this deck, if you haven't been able to tell, is creatures. I think I counted 53. It's over 50 creatures in this deck, so that's why there's a board wipe on a creature, and a board sweeper on a creature, and most removals on creatures. It's originally I did start off with nothing but creatures in the deck, but there's just a couple cards that I had to fit in here that were too good, like the Legolas's Quick Reflexes. That was pretty fun. And then we have a Guardian of Faith. When it ETBs, any number of other target creatures you control phase out. This is good protection from a board wipe. We have Kogla. Enters, fights up to one target creature, and attacks, destroy a target artifact or enchantment. Pretty good. Ulvenwald Tracker. This is a fight mechanic on a 1 mana human shaman. It's pretty good. Then we have Vandalblast. And we have Galadriel's Dismissal. Again, this card is very powerful as well. It's a 1 drop that can either protect something you have, or if you have a big creature coming at you, you can actually phase that out too, so it wouldn't deal damage to you. But it's got a kicker for 3 that says target creature phases out. If this spell is kicked, each creature target player phases out instead. Pretty good. Let's talk about our card draw or card advantage. We do have some card advantage in here with that Lorna the third Path and other things, but we'll go over strictly card advantage. We have Last March of the Ents. I've not been able to cast this card. I pulled this when this set came out. I still have not been able to cast it, but I've seen it play and it is extremely good. We have Vivian, Champion of the Wilds. This is good in 2 aspects. It gives you the ability to cast creature spells as though they had flash, which if all your removals on creatures, having this out is super good. But that -2, looking at the top 3 cards, exiling one of them face down, if it's a creature, you can cast it later. It's relevant card advantage. Battle Angels of Tyr. It's got Myriad and a whole bunch of text, but if Battle Angel of Tyr deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If that player has more cards in hand than each other player, then you create a treasure token. If that player creates more land or controls more lands than each other player, then you gain 3 life if that player has more life than each other player. Pretty good. We have Bonehorde Dracosaur. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 2 cards And then you can create treasures or dinosaurs based on what you exile. Pretty good. We have Toski. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. We have Elder Gargaroth. When this creature attacks or blocks, choose one. Gain 3 life, create a 3/3, draw a card. And it's a insane body. It's a 6/6 vigilance, reach, trample for 5. Beast Whisper. Whenever you cast a creature, draw a card. And there's a ton of them in here, so that's a ton of card draw. Orin Frostfang. Attacking creature you control Death Touch, and whenever a creature you control does combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then our favorite, Esper Sentinel, which is just a staple in white decks for card draw. Okay, let's talk about the tutors next. This deck has the most tutors I've run, but I don't know, just finding with how many creatures I have in this deck, there's a lot of different things you can do with them, whether like I said, removal or card advantage or ramp with them. So this is a higher power deck, probably 3 to 4 brackets, but here we go. We have Captain Sisay. Tap, search your library for a legendary card, reveal it, put it into your hand. This guy or this gal is super good. She comes down with haste, so we can automatically go grab a creature card. And if we have any of our untappers that we'll get to in a second, you can do this, multiple times a turn cycle. We have Eldamri's Call, search library for a creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand. We have Rocco, Cabaretti Caterer. When it ETBs, if you cast it, you may search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. Pretty fun card. Nature's Rhythm does the same thing, but it's got harmonized, so you can cast it later from the graveyard. And then we have Fauna Shaman. You can pay a green, tap it to discard a creature, and then search your library for a creature. Put it in your hand. Let's go to our big beaters here, our big creatures. We have Goreclaw, Terror of the Cowl, Sisma. Creatures with power 4 greater, cost 2 less to cast. Whenever it attacks, each creature controlled power 4 greater gets +1/+1 and trample. And Drag, love this card. This card is sweet. When it becomes blocked, untap each creature you control, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Super fun card. Kadama of the East Tree. Whenever another permanent ETBs are in control, if it wasn't put there with this ability, you may put another permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana cost from your hand to the battlefield. Combat Celebrant. If you exert it, you get an extra combat. Lots of extra combats in here. We have Xenagos, God of Revels, which was really initially what this deck was, just a big, dumb, stompy deck. He's a super sweet card. He gives stuff haste, so you hit double haste, and he gets +X, or he gives +X until in a turn where X is that creature's power. Sire of the Seven Deaths, man, this card is sick. I had this in my Foundations pre-release, and I won the pre-release straight off of this card. This card is a problem when it comes down. Aurelia War Leader, another extra combat. Port Razor, another extra combat. When he deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase, and he can't attack a player. It's already attacked this turn. We have a God Sire, which is a part of the tapping shenanigans. This card is super sweet. With haste, you drop an 8/8. You can swing because it's got vigilance, and then second main, tap it to create another 8/8. And if we have any of our untappers, guess what? Untap another person's turn, tap it, tap it, tap it. A bunch of 8/8s. Fill the board with 8/8s. You have Gazella, Blade of Gold Knight, Flying First Strike, and if a source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, that source deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. And then she halves damage dealt to you. This card is seriously a problem when it hits too. We have Itali, Primal Conqueror. Whenever enters, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card, and you can cast any of them. And then it flips it over. I've never got to flip it, but it flips over into a Trample Infect guy. We have Zakama, another dino. If you cast it, untap all lands you control, and then it's got 3, deal damage to a target creature, 3, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or 3, you gain 3 life. Plus it's a 9/9 Vigilance Trample. Super good card. Zapandrel, Hunger Dominus. The beat of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control. So if you get any of those extra combats out, it's gonna double, and then double, and then double. Pretty good. And then Path Breaker Ibex, super good card. Whenever this creature attacks, creatures you control gain trample and get XX until in a turn where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Another finisher here. And really, could be another finisher as well. I've tutored this out and placed it on the battlefield and won just from this little Weatherlight Duelist. 3/2, first strike. Whenever it attacks, each opponent cannot block with more than one creature this combat. So almost making your stuff unblockable. And as long as Miri is tapped, no more than one creature can attack you each combat. So it's a really good card. Let's talk about our just generic tapping shenanigans or cheaters. We have 2 cheaters here. They do the same thing. We have Elvish Piper and then Ovia. They do the same thing, but Ovia is just power grab because it gives creatures attacking your opponent's trample. Pay green, tap it, put a creature from your hand onto the battlefield. So if you have a big mana creature that you can't cast, you can cheat them out with these guys. Then we have our 2 untappers. So Seedborn Muse is untap all permanents you control during each other untap step. And then this says untap all creatures you control during each player's untap step. Both are really good in this deck. And then we have Yeva, Nature's Herald. This just gives you the ability to cast green creatures with flash, which is a really fun thing to do in this deck. Finally, we have a couple combo pieces. We do have Kiki Jiki, which allows you to put a token that's a copy of target non-legendary creature you control that entered the battlefield, or onto the battlefield. That token gains haste, and then you can sack it at the next end step. Really, you can go infinite with this thing pretty easily, but also just tapping it to tap one of our giant mana dorks with haste is super duper valuable. We have Teamer Sabertooth. So if you have any of your big giant mana dorks that produces, a ton of mana, a ton of green mana, you can pay to return that creature to its owner's hand and then recast it if you have the extra mana, and then pay to return that creature to its owner's hand and then recast it. It just would give you infinite mana. It's pretty good. You can also do that with Kogla in there too, if it's a human. Then we have Savage Ventmaul and Aggravated Assault. This is a pretty simple combo. When he attacks, you create 6, and then Aggravated Assault says pay 5, untap all creature control. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Activate only as a sorcery. So attack, get 6, pay 5, untap, attack, and so on and so forth. This could also just go infinite with any of our bigger mana dorks, where we can tap it for at least 5, and then we would pay it into this guy, and then untap all of our creatures, and then do it again and continuously create infinite mana. So that's the deck, guys. Let me know what you think. If you'd add anything, if you'd change anything, if you think it's a cool deck, if you think the deck sucks, let me know whatever you think down in the comments below. Make sure to do all that fun YouTube stuff like liking and subscribing, guys. Have a great day. Peace.